Well, Norwich City continue their 2024 stupendous home record in convincing fashion. 5-0 against Rotherham United. It could have been more. It could have been as many as we wanted to. Rotherham United utterly humiliated for yet another week. I think just take this match review with a slight pinch of salt, because it's I think it's difficult to review a football team when they're against such useless opposition, and I say that in a kind way. Maybe, I hope Rotherham fans don't take offence. I put all of my respect to the 47 travelling fans. Wow, they were really, really bad. My first Norwich game was in 2005. It was Liverpool against Norwich. I think Ryan Jarvis scored on the day. So I've seen a lot of football from then until now, and in terms of championship opposition, I think Rotherham were probably one of the worst. They offered absolutely nothing, literally nothing. Defensively poor, didn't hold the ball in any capacity, had nothing going forwards, just a really poor outfit. Norwich still had to beat them, and they did beat them, and they beat them convincingly. It was 4-0 by half-time. It meant that David Wagner could make the changes that he wanted. Sargent came off, McLean came off, Gibson came off. The kind of key players that need their minutes managed at the moment were able to come off, and that's exactly what happened. I think probably mentions for a couple of players, and we'll start with Borja Sainz, who got sent off in midweek wrongfully, as the FA concluded. He was back for today. It was a stunning strike on the half-hour mark from him, and I hope that, and I think, to be fair, most Norwich fans, now that the dust has settled somewhat, have looked at the incident and have gone, actually, Borja was not at fault there. It was very much Johnny Howson and the referee that have been conned. Borja's not, maybe he could have dealt with it slightly better, but on the whole, didn't do anything wrong, and is an incredibly talented player who we would be far worse off if he wasn't playing. He played today. I'd hate to think what we would have still won, but we certainly wouldn't have looked as a dynamic as what we did with Borja in the side. He was stunning once again, and he will be a really key player from now until the end of the season. 9 games left in the Championship. Norwich are now in the top 6, so it's very much keeping pace. Couple of points per game probably now until the end of the season gets you into that top 6. Borja's going to be absolutely massive. Gabriel Sara, a mention for him as well. A header on 13 minutes and a truly sublime half volley on 47 minutes. A couple of goals for him today. And look, I think the standards that Gabriel has set for this season means that if he dips below even slightly that, then criticism comes for him. But he is still one of the elite midfielders in the Championship, and once again showed that today. Incredible finisher, superb passer of the ball. Gabriel Sara is one of the very best in this division, and showed that today. Josh Sargent got in with the goals as well. It was actually a fairly quiet game for him, but you could tell, and it was actually a flashback towards like when Sargent was injured. When Sargent came off the pitch, and it was Van Hooijdonk and Kennebo, Van Hooijdonk for the majority, Norwich looked so much less creative, and we stretched. It was far easier for Rotherham to defend against us when Josh Sargent wasn't on the pitch. Look, he scored, and he's still going at pretty much a goal a game at the moment. But you can just tell as a collective, as an 11, Norwich look so much better when Josh Sargent is playing. Got his goal today. Faultless performance. Basically, Jakob Sorensen, good to see him in the goals, and actually, again, a really solid centre-back, showing the games he has played at centre-back, particularly at Carrow Road, has come against opposition that haven't particularly tested us. But Rotherham are tall, and they're kind of lumpy, and Sorensen isn't that, and he's far more technical than that, and I thought he dealt with it really well. So well done to Sorensen. I know his contract's up come the end of this season, so it'll be interesting to see whether Norwich renew that. He's a great utility player. I still don't think the club quite know his best position. He's kind of played his cameos have come at defence this season. We've been used to seeing Sorensen kind of as a defensive midfielder. So it'll be interesting to see what happens with that. But on the whole, a really positive bounce back. I think the reintroduction of Sainz after we thought he'd be out for 5 games was incredibly positive. Hull drawing against Leicester means that we do now go into the top 6. And you look at the table. You've got 4 teams above you in Leicester, Leeds, Ipswich, and Southampton. And I think we can all say are probably better than Norwich City. West Brom, I would question. I think we're probably about par with them, and I think if Sargent had been fit for the majority of this season, then we would be above West Brom. And then the chasing pack. I mean, Hull. I think Hull have got quality and they've signed well, but are a bit iffy. Coventry, Preston, Cardiff, a 10th. Cardiff, a 10th. I mean, we pumped them at Carrow Road. I know they've beaten Ipswich today. Borough, Sunderland, Watford. I mean, I don't want to be disrespectful to this division, I'm seeing nothing from in behind us. Just absolutely nothing. And look, I guess you can, the fact that Norwich haven't created somewhat of a gap between ourselves and outside of the playoffs shows that we've also not been great this season. But I really do think it's an average league. So from now until the end of the season, it is just about making sure that we pick up more points than Hull and Coventry. There's a gap between Coventry and Preston. We've got a couple of games coming up that have potentials to be banana skins. It's Stoke away. We know all about our away form. It's then Plymouth at home on Good Friday. And then it starts to get tougher. So really we need to win our next 2. And then it becomes slightly more difficult. Put that in quotation marks. But a good bounce back. Look, I think we should have won. We did win. It was convincing. I would almost, put a line through that form line. Everyone beats Rotherham. I know we lost away from home, slightly different times, but Rotherham haven't won away from home all season. So literally everyone beats them away. So enjoy it. Savour it. The sun was out. And a couple of goals, good for the goal difference, but tougher assignments lie ahead. Thanks very much for watching, and I'll see you all again very soon. Bye-bye.